Hello and good evening. My name is John. We're here playing Sakura Angels as part of my Steam cleaning series, where I go through every game in my Steam library eventually, then arbitrarily rate and or review them after we have a play time. Now, I've played quite a few Sakura Angels, for better or worse, or Sakura style games, so I do have an idea what this game is going to be like. It's going to be anime girls with large chests. Let's just get through it together, folks. Start game. Visual novel, generally mediocre writing, very few choices most of the time. Every night, I have the same dream. Every night, I'm always brought back to this place without fail. And then every morning, I wake up with no memory of this place at all until the next time I fall asleep. Not a single night has went by without my consciousness being dragged into this abyss. This realm is devoid of light, so much so that I can't even see my hand in front of my face, no matter how desperately I wave it. The concept of sound is just as absent, my steps silent, and my distressed cries swallowed by the bordering darkness as quickly as they have left my mouth. I'm in a bleak, barren wasteland of nothingness. Spending any prolonged amount of time here begins to make me doubt even my own existence. Yet despite feeling suffocated by a striking absence of anything, I know I'm not alone. Something is watching me, stalking me from the shadows. I can't say for sure what it is, but every once in a while I'll catch sight of something from the corner of my view. A pair of burning, bright eyes, fixated purely on me. They hate me, despise me, an overall sense of animosity radiating from whoever they belong to. I know they want nothing more than to lash out and attack me, but something is holding them back. A force they truly despise, invisible chains that bind and restrict them from the one thing that is on their mind. First, when I began dreaming of this place, their eyes were distant, like glimmering stars. But with each passing night, the eyes seem to inch ever closer and shine even brighter. I think whatever force has been holding them from me is beginning to fade. What will happen when these eyes reach me? I shudder to think. I know it's just a dream, so I shouldn't be afraid, but everything I experience here is so vivid. None of the usual murky haze that surrounds such dreamlike environments seem to exist here at all. If I had a recurring dream that I had every night, I would think something's going on. At least pop culture has taught me that. I also have perfect clarity. I can feel stagnant, freezing air all around me, enough to incite a shiver out of me every once in a while. Since I'm so used to this dream, I know how it'll end. I'll wade through the darkness for what seems like an eternity, never find anything until the morning finally comes and pulls me out of this night. At least, that's how it usually ended. Something is different tonight. Those hateful burning eyes that always kept just out of sight before, I'm suddenly confronted by them. Never before have they been so close. Never before have I stared straight back into them. Their narrow, piercing glades roots me to the spot, and a shooting pain surges through me. I can't move. I can't breathe. And then, from out of the darkness, a crooked smile spreads, just as sinister as those eyes. So close. I can practically taste the freedom. It won't be long now. Enjoy the peace while you can, boy, for your days are numbered. And then everything shall change. And we're in our home. ... Ugh. My head is killing me. These morning migraines are the worst. Every morning without fail, I always wake up to a sensation not unlike my skull being pounded by a jackhammer. Thump, thump, thump. It's almost like a heartbeat. I feel my head is going to split open. It's weird though, because even though the pain is so intense, it never lasts long. In the space it takes me to get up and head to school, the pain is usually reduced just a dull throb in the back of my skull by then. So it isn't that much of a hassle in the grand scheme of things. But it certainly isn't a fun way to wake up. I just find it odd how consistent it seems to be. Anyway, enough pondering these weird mysteries. It's time to tackle the day. After a moment of wrestling with my blanket, I swing my legs around and drag myself out of bed. Quick look at my bedside clock tells me it's still early. He doesn't have a clock. There is no bedside clock. If you're going to call out a bedside clock, you should have a bed... Anyway. Too early. If I had it my way, the world wouldn't start until at least a good way into the afternoon. But sadly, life isn't that wonderful. Pulling back the curtains to let the light flood into my room, I suppress the urge to let out a hiss, almost blinding myself in the process. Too bright! The rest of my time is spent getting ready, is spent fighting with my uniform and a tie, becoming all the more problematically put on when you're half asleep. Oh god, I think I've actually got my hand stuck in it. Almost choking myself to death in the most pathetic fight ever, I finished putting on the tie, the rest of my uniform complying peacefully with me. Unable to find a comb, I still just flattened my hair down with my hands. Looking in the mirror, I'm left staring back at someone with messy black hair. Are all the people in these games like orphans or without parents? They must be. That's close enough. Somewhat dressed and somewhat ready, I stumble out of my room, my legs still not fully awake. Uneven steps carry me dangerously down the stairs as I soon as emerge into the kitchen. I'm greeted by silence. The kitchen is empty. A familiar scene for me. My parents are what you might call workaholics. Basically, they spend more time at their respective jobs than they ever do here. I only ever get to catch them during the evening when they're eating, and then, man, that font layering here by the back end save is really rough. Everyone is off to bed and the cycle repeats. Don't get me wrong, I understand they have to work in order to keep us living comfortably, so I don't hate them for it. It just gets, I don't know, lonely? Ah well. There's no moping about it. It's been like this for years, so I don't know why I was getting all emotional about it now. Plus, the plus side of them not being around is that I quickly learned how to cook for myself. It's amazing how fast you can adapt to this sort of stuff when you're starving. I don't think I have enough time for anything fancy to eat for breakfast, so I'll just settle for toast. There's no toaster. You can never go wrong with toast. Okay, you might be able to go wrong with toast. I have sudden traumatic flashbacks when the toaster erupted in flames. What a day that was. But I learned from my mistakes now. Won't happen a third time. Would make toast? Oh, okay. Having devoured the only slightly charred toast, I sling my bag over my shoulder before starting out for the front door. I give the empty house one last look over before opening the front door. Kind of depressing to have no one to say goodbye to. Goodbye, toaster. But again, this has been the same for every weekday morning since forever ago. The sun is shining high in the cloudless sky, birds are chirping overhead, waves of students are passing by, happily chatting with one another as they make their way to school. It's so horrible. I'm not much of a morning person, so I can't even begin to fathom how everybody can be so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed right now. I mean, it's taking all my willpower just to be able to put one foot in front of the other without crumbling to the ground. I just have to hope the breakfast kicks in and gives me the energy I need before I'm forced to literally drag myself through the school gates. ... There's no one in this crowd, so... While keeping my head down and my eyes glued to the ground as I soldier on, I suddenly noticed the vibrant atmosphere from before is gone. Silence completely taking over. My steps the only thing making any noise. The air is still. Huh. That's a bit strange. Bringing my head up, I met with an unusual sight. The street is deserted. Oh, okay, now we're there. No students, no cars. Even the cheerful chirping of the birds is gone. What? Hurry forward, hoping. Nope. Not hopping. Hoping to at least run into somebody. Anyone. Even the sun's once golden rays seem muted, the world tinged in a dreary tone. But there still isn't a cloud in the sky. Clouds up there. Okay, this is definitely starting to freak me out. I just need to... Splitting pain shoots through my head, stopping me in my tracks. Like a searing poker being thrust through my skull. Ouch. A headache? Now? Nothing's making any sense. Desperately trying to keep myself upright as I clutch a hand to my head, I stagger forward. Unlike the headaches from before that gradually die down, this one only seems to be getting worse. Thump, thump, thump. It won't stop at all. I'm brought to my knees. I can hardly even think straight, my head threatening to explode at any moment. Then, through gritted teeth and a pained expression, I see it. Something that shouldn't exist. It clearly does, as confirmed by my own terrified eyes. A monster. Only one word. That's the only word that comes to my scrambled mind. A hulking, grotesque mass of flesh with gnarled flanks and red, stilted eyes, seething with hate. Closest thing I can relate it to would be a dog, but no dog I know is 3 times the size of me, its form practically eclipsing the sun. It snorts with flared nostrils, something like steam being inhaled out. Given its tense stance, the fact that it's blocking the way, I only assume it's here for me. But why? But why? What the hell is it? Where did it come from? Why does it want me? 1,000,001 questions race through my head. I doubt I'm going to get any answers from this thing. So like one thing I do when presented with such odds like that. Oh wow, we got a choice. I'm gonna stand my ground, but I'm also going to take off this hoodie because it's... I feel that stand my ground's gonna get me killed early, so we'll have to just, you know, restart, I guess, if we do. Stand my ground. Of course, I don't know what the hell thing is or why it suddenly appeared before me, but I'm not gonna let it take me down without a fight. Ignoring the pain that threatens to consume my skull, I straighten myself up and stare right back into the hateful eyes of the beast. And then, a tightening fist, I lash out like lightning, my fist connecting with its head, clearly, with a solid impact. Take this, foul beast! Wham! Okay, no, bad idea. That did nothing. In fact, it looks even angrier than it did before now. All I managed to do is bruise my own fist. I hope I haven't broken anything. Reel back from my brutal attack, giving the fist in question a good shake. It still stings. Ow! Now what do I do? My blazing surprise attack was met with complete indifference, and now I think it's too late to run. The creature is gearing itself for a charge, its front legs digging into the ground. That might have been a mistake. I try to turn tail and begin running, but the beast kicks off the ground straight towards me. There's nothing else I can do. I brace myself as best I can for the inevitable bone-shattering impact. Right before the beast can connect with me, I bring my life to a grisly end. A dazzling, radiant light floods my vision, engulfing me both in the monster. The beast stops in his track, a guttural cry escaping before it vaporized before my eyes. What? What the hell just happened? Or, translated to the text here, geez, that was a close one. Are you alright? A cheerful voice chirps. Welcome sound after the terrors of that thing. Don't talk to him. You have to leave before. Another voice that's less cheerful. In fact, they sound angry more than anything. Meet our protagonists, or the focus of our protagonists. The light soon fades, revealing my saviors. Though, this is definitely the last thing I was expecting. Two girls, roughly my age, how can you tell, stand before me. I blink several times before I scrub my eyes, hoping these things might make a little more sense. This can't be real. I'm having more trouble believing these girls are actually standing before me than I did the monster. Wielding weapons and costumes taken straight out of a fantasy book, it's all a bit too much for my brain attempting to process. What? What the heck was that? Oh, my name is Kenta. Alright. A shadow. Like from Persona. The more cheerful of the two simply says that to me, her stance relaxing some. Huh? Was that supposed to explain everything? I glance down at my feet where the shadow stretches. Where my own shadow stretches, but the girl bursts out into a giggle. Not your own shadow, silly. The thing we just took care of, which you're welcome for, by the way, is what we call a shadow. Physical manifestation of all the hatred and negative emotions that might lurk in one's heart. This is definitely Persona. Normally not so aggressive during the day, though. It was really out for you. We're usually pretty good at nabbing them before they get to you, but this one completely took us by surprise. I'm happy we got here in time. You're not hurt, are you? No, I'm fine, but as if things are bad enough that we had to reveal ourselves to him, now you're just casually blabbing away things that no normal person should have the right to know. Have you lost your mind? I'm cut short by the more aggressive looking of the pair, whose expression has grown darker and darker. I don't know which one. Is it this one? And cheerful one has spoken, looking... I keep using them. Oh, the mouse is showing up. Okay, is it this one that's the angrier one? Looking like she's unable to take it anymore, she explodes, causing both of them to jump. Oh, but he looks so confused. And now that he's seen one of the shadows firsthand, don't you think it's just a little too late for us to quietly sit back into the shadows? So you can't use shadows and shadows in the same... Huh? Her eyes narrow into a frightening glare. It's clear she isn't happy. But I don't think she has anything to counter that. See? You worry too much. We'll only tell him what he needs to know. Nothing more, nothing less. The upbeat girl brings her attention back to me, a sparkle in her eyes. Right, so Kenta, where are we? We were... Wait, how do you know my name? Huh? Oh. Whoops. She puts her hand to her mouth as she tries to take back the words. The questions continue to pile up, and I still haven't gotten any answers. You idiot. Whap. The serious one wraps the first against the other's... Her fist against the other's head. Whoa. Who sticks her tongue out in sort of tee-hee my bad kind of way. So you guys know me? I've never seen them in my life. And given how they look, I definitely think I would have remembered them. Well, we don't know you personally, but we've been watching over you for a while now. You've been quite the point of interest recently, you know. Me? What the heck did I ever do to get so much attention? As far as I know, I'm just an average student who lives an average life, doing average things. Though after this, I guess I can't really call my life average anymore. Can't really go into details because, you know, top secret and all, but let's just say it's not in our best interest for you to fall into the wrong hands. You wouldn't believe how much of an effort we've been putting into keeping you safe, you know. Actually, I'm kind of relieved that we finally got to meet so you could finally appreciate all our hard work. He beams at me, leaning in perhaps just a little bit too close. She's throwing so much at me here, I can hardly think straight. Just, who the heck are you guys? Huh. She falls deep into thought, her nose scrunching up. I guess she's choosing her words carefully now to avoid another brutal assault from her partner. Think of us as your guardian angels, your Sakura angels, okay? Saying that, she gives her bow, oh, it must be bow, a flourish, and then it shatters between her fingers. What? Moments later, the shattered piece of the bow began to gather behind her, the shards piercing piecing back together rapidly until they finally form a pair of wings on her back. Should we see the wings? The wings, while not strictly attached to her, at least seem to function as they sway in the breeze and give out glimmer every now and then. Wait, are they literally angels? Let me get this straight. Start from the beginning. That thing that attacked me, that monster, you call those shadows? Yep. And those shadows are supposed to be hunting me for a while now. Uh-huh. Because apparently if they catch me, it'll be bad for unspecific reasons. Yep. Really bad. And you guys, whoever you are, have been combating them from the shadows. Don't use shadows twice to keep me safe from harm. She nods enthusiastically. Looks like I've just got a grip on what this whole thing is, even if it was a little sparse on details. Knowing all this brings me to the conclusion that I have no choice but to believe them. Crazy it all sounds, I can't really deny the evidence before me. The monster was definitely real, and I have no reason to doubt these girls who destroyed that thing right before my eyes. Okay, so what happens now? Huh. Well, now that the shadows gotten more aggressive, I really don't think we can go back to our old job watching from afar. We were lucky to just barely catch that thing now, after all. Somehow I don't like the sound of that, or what it might imply. At all. So we're parting ways for now, but expect us to keep an extremely close eye on you from now on, okay? Bye-bye for now. She gives me a wink and a wave before taking off in the other direction. Her less enthusiastic partner simply turns her head from me with one last harumph before following after her. I'm soon left completely alone within the street, where just moments ago my entire world had been spun on its head. Did all that just happen? Aw, jeez. All this will have to wait for later, though. Right now, I have focused on the bigger issue, being late for school. I break into a sprint to try and make up for lost time, all the while hoping I'll never run into those two again. Somehow, I just barely make it to class. It was a photo finish through the door right as the bell went, but I made it. Taking a moment to catch my breath, I drag myself over to my desk, the teacher arriving only seconds after I collapse into the chair. Too close. The class is empty, so they would have really noticed if I wasn't here. None of their students seem too bothered to my late entrance. They don't exist. Though at this point, maybe this is exactly what they expected me anyway. As I'm kind of a goofball protagonist. I've been pretty late at times, even missing the bell entirely some days, mostly due to sleeping in. At least this time I had an actual reason for cutting it so close. However, after what happened earlier, I think it's going to be impossible for me to focus on the lesson. I'm beginning to wonder if I'll ever get an explanation for whatever the heck that just happened. Possibly tall creatures, girls wielding magic weapons. No matter how it looked, my brain refused to accept it as reality. It goes against everything I know. I scrubbed through my hair, a faint headache still ringing in the back of my neck. Being lucky enough to have a seat situated by the window, I let my gaze wander out, my eyes vacant as I stare into clear blue sky. The teacher is doing his usual morning speech, no doubt talking about upcoming events for our school, but his words are just dull mumble in my ears. My mind is miles away. The girls knew me by name. No matter how far I delve back through my memories, it's clear I've never seen them in my life. At least I don't think I've ever seen them before. I think hard. Maybe too hard. The point of my eyes begin to strain. Nope. Nothing. I can't recall a single thing that might shed light on this. Be different now, I tune back into class while still keeping my sights on the sky. The teacher's voice becoming clear once more. Now, I know it's a bit sudden, but as of today, we have 2 new transfer students to be joining our class. Transfer students? This time of year? Is it the 2 girls we just saw? A bit late to be joining, don't you think? Even the teacher sounds confused as he announces them. And not just 1, but 2? Why do I get the feeling there's something off about this? Almost as if it's tied to what happened earlier. Slow. Bit slow there, buddy. Ah, no. It couldn't be. Like you all to make them feel welcome as they transition in. What did you say your names were? I am Sakura. It's nice to meet you. I hope we can all get along. I bolt up in my seat, my head snapping towards the front of the classroom. The upbeat voice. Is it really? Sure enough, the 2 girls I never thought I'd see again are stood before me. In my school. In my classroom, no less. Wearing the school official uniform. The cheerful one, Asaka, bows slightly to the class, flashing me a grin as her eyes pass over me. What? What is this? The other girl, less courteous, her arms crossed, not crossed, and her brow furrowed. She doesn't look pleased to be here. At all. Her gaze passes over to me, but rather than smile, she gives me a nasty glare. Is she blaming me for this? It sure feels like it. The grumpy one beside me here is Hikari. Go on, say hi. Hey, don't. Sakura gives her a playful push as she stumbles to the center of the classroom. Everybody's eyes are upon her. She looks like she's lost her words, her mouth open and closing as her face gradually goes red. As she doesn't really cope well under the spotlight. I'm Hakari. Nice to meet you all. She trails off in a murmur, spinning on her heel and storming way back to Sayaka, partly hiding behind her. Yeah, that wasn't so hard. Hikari simmers with silent rage, her hands balled up into tight fists, practically shaking. I'm sure if she wasn't in a classroom full of people, things might have gotten violent here. When their interaction is over, the teacher motions them to take their seats. Wait a second. I only just realized there were only spare where the only spare seats in the classroom are. One of them's right behind me with the window view too, and the other is to my right. That means they're both sitting besides me? Actually, it's pretty convenient. I can finally ask them just what the heck they think they're doing. Sayaka, with spring in her step, waltzes towards the desk behind me. Akari stomps her way over and takes the other desk. I lean up at my desk and try to catch their attention, but I'm cut short by the teacher, resumes whatever it is he was talking about before. Darn it. I don't want to get in trouble for talking during class. I'll have to wait till the break. That's 2 lessons away, though. There's practically an eternity. I swing back around to the front of my desk. Can't do anything right now, so I'll pay attention to the teacher and... Arg, no. How can I pay attention to anything when 2 magical girls are sitting near me? I want answers now. I rub my fingers against the desk as the teacher continues to drone on. I think we'll wait around this. I better not speak to her in class, so... Do I get a choice? Ah, okay. Of course, it's so obvious. Pull out my notebook and pencil. I'll just pass them a note. Simple and silent. Bit of mature means communication. I'll admit, but I'm desperate here. Scribble that message. What are you guys doing here? May as well get straight to the point. Tear out the page, almost ripping it in half in the process. Only one question left. Who do I get this note to? Sayaka. Well, it's going to be harder to pass a note to someone directly behind me without looking too suspicious. I get the feeling Sayaka might actually want to respond. Thinking back to my chair, I lean back and slip the note onto her desk while keeping my eyes forward, as if a good student was actually paying attention to the lesson at hand. At least. I think I managed to give her the note. After a minute or two, I twiddled my thumbs and began to lose faith in my plan. Maybe this was... Something suddenly taps my shoulder. Same page that I turned on my pad before, floating down to my desk. Success! Written below my own hastily scrawled, just barely legible message is one far neater handwriting, accompanied by a smiley face. We're here to protect you, silly. Protect me? Right. I remember her saying something about them being my guardian angels and they keep a close eye on me, but this is ridiculous. I scribbled down my reply, writing so fast that they crossed out a word 7 times before I finally get it right. Okay, I get that part. But you really need to be indeed this close? How did you guys even manage to get enrolled? Did you forget how close you were being chomped this morning? Oh, they must pass back and forth. We're not going to let that happen again. As far as how we got in, well, let's just say we can be very persuasive. Hey, hey, hey. Who actually writes hey, hey, hey? Whatever. At least she gave me the answer. Somewhat. Now that I think about it, the teacher did look a little confused as he introduced them. I'm guessing they wormed their way in here with whatever magic powers they have. That's a bit scary, actually. Magic. I use that word so casually, and I'm just accepting its existence now? I guess given the evidence, it's a bit hard not to, but I'm still going to remain skeptical. First lesson of the day goes on at an agonizingly slow pace. Can't focus on a thing no matter how hard I try. What seems like an eternity, the bell finally rings, announcing the end of the lesson. Still a lesson to go before break time, though, which makes it impossible to talk to the girls, especially since the next lesson is PE, where the boys and girls are separate. Why is life so complicated? After reluctantly getting changed to PE, I'm soon in the schoolyard with the male half of our class. Much like the first lesson, I find it hard to pay attention with the PE teacher as he goes through basic warm-up exercises. I follow the exercise just about with as much enthusiasm as a zombie. The rest of the lesson is sort of blur, at least until some of the male students start to look towards the track field where the girls are. Staring in amazement, some even roll their eyes as if they couldn't be real. What's so amazing? You know, whenever they put a black screen up here because they don't want to show an image, it just feels off. What are you guys looking at? And most of the crowds form, so I actually get a look at the field. No way. The girls are running on the track, which isn't amazing in itself, but it's who running on the track that makes it so unreal sight. That's the image? Sayaka is blazing across the track, practically a blur as she leaves the others in her dust. She's literally running circles around them. Doesn't look tired or exhausted at all either, save for the beads of sweat creeping up. In fact, she has a big smile on her face, clearly enjoying it all. As it wasn't obvious before, these girls are on a completely different level. Sure, she's breaking several counter records right here. The other girl in the group helpfully trailed behind her, their expressions ranging from sheer confusion to envy. Some of these girls are, well, I guess were now the top of their class when it came to track too. She's making them all look like snails in comparison. Can't imagine how they must feel being showed up by someone who hasn't even been here a day. I can hardly keep my eyes on her. She seems to just get a little faster with each loop making it around the track. It won't be long now before she becomes just one big blur encircling the place. Is she even human? No, she is an angel. I'm seriously beginning to doubt it here with the superhuman display. I think even top athletes in this country couldn't compare to her. While Sayaka is hogging the spotlight here, there's someone missing in all this. Her far grumpy counterpart, Hikari. If anything, shouldn't she be neck and neck with Sakura? Scan the ones from behind her, but couldn't find her either. Just where 10 other girls being left Sakura dust, I see someone dragging their feet, sour expression on their face. She's just walking, her arms folded like usual. I wonder if her arms are glued like that. She isn't even trying. She must really hate not wanting. She must really not have wanted to enroll here. Must have been Sakura's idea entirely. What are you all staring at? Come on, let's get back to it. Apparently all forgotten we had our own lessons at hand. The teacher calls us back to Rally, forcing us to reluctantly stop gawking at the girls. The rest of the PE goes fine without anything happening. Then finally, lunch break arrives. I spot the magic girls in the classroom, casually chatting with some of their students. Huh, I don't think they've been able to make friends already. But after Sky's little display earlier, she's probably the talk of the class. Oh, Kenta, hi there. She gives me a wave and cheery smile, but I can hardly say I do the same. Oh yeah, hi. Look, can we talk? Huh? Go for it. No, not here. Can we talk somewhere private? Crap. That might have come out weird. Getting weird looks from everyone in the class, a few of them break into whispers and giggles. Even Sakura is feigning surprise, despite full well knowing what I mean. Oh my, this is a bit sudden. I don't know what to say. Come on, stop messing around. I've been dying to talk to you, both of you, since this morning. Oh god, I made it worse, didn't I? I saw I turned this into looking like one of the most awkward confessions ever. Are you always as forward with girls you just met? The giggles go along with the continued painful stares from the class. Well, if you're gonna take it like this, I have no choice. It's gonna make me look even worse from the class, but I need answers. I take a breath and steel myself. And then... Hey, what are you doing? I grab her by the wrist and pull her along towards the classroom door, whether she likes it or not. That's not cool, bro. When I witnessed before, I'm sure she could have me flat on the floor if she truly opposed to this. I think she's just messing around at this point, though. What is up with this layering? Like, this is just weird layering. And you, too, come with me. Yeah? Who said you could touch me? Good statement. With a free hand, I take hold of Kari's wrist, no doubt cementing myself as some sort of deviant within my class. Thankfully, they both follow along without too much resistance. Ignoring the brunt of Hikari's verbal abuse, I continue to the doorway. Just find somewhere quiet when no one will hear us discuss magic and monster business. Question is, oof. While I haste to escape the classroom, we both girls a toe. I crash on someone who is already making their way to the door. Someone backwards looks slightly dazed. Thankfully, they don't look hurt. Are you okay? Sorry about that. Offer an apologetic style. Who is she again? Must be from my class. I can't recall her name at all, though. It's fine. Speaks in a cold tone, vertically cold eyes locked onto my own, an intense stare that completely betrays her own words. Yikes. I guess she has a reason for being annoyed at my clumsiness. This is a look of pure hate. Okay then. She's the bad one. Confirming she's okay, I continue with Hikari and Sayaka. They're protesting mostly from Hikari's side, increasing in volume. I can't even begin to imagine what this month looks like for the people passing by. I'm sure even as I head for the stairs, that girl is still staring at me. Did I do something to annoy her? I mean, besides the clumsiness from the day, of course. I can't worry about her for now. I have bigger problems to worry about. Namely, two big problems, one in each hand of mine. Go to the roof. Okay. Explain this mess. Okay. I don't know. I'm about a half hour into this one here. The story has not gripped me yet. You're just another orphan boy who meets two magic girls and the end. I don't know. I'm not super into visual novels in the first place. This one didn't have any glaring spelling or grammatical errors, at least. It's just a big pile of tropes. Like, there's the one manic pixie one, and then there's the stern but heart of gold one, and then, you know, you're just a schlub guy. I mean, Sakura, Angels. Cheers.